If he attempts to talk in the next 4 days, please deploy some tactical soft serve to this area, okay?
Stephen Colbert has never been one to shy away from political commentary. He's built a career out of it. But when it comes to this year's 2024 election coverage, Colbert's loyal fans are scratching their heads in shock. The beloved late-night host has thrown a curveball, announcing a surprising change that has left everyone talking. What's really going on behind the scenes? And why did Colbert make such an unexpected move now of all times? The unprecedented decision to skip the 2024 election special. With his biting wit and Emmy-nominated election specials, Stephen Colbert clawed out a unique space in the world of political satire. He has been one of the late-night go-tos for many viewers wanting sharp and insightful takes on American politics. But now, something he did for the 2024 election has left fans both stunned and scrambling to understand why. With Colbert out, Comedy Central's The Daily Show might just be the only live late-night show covering the big night, a huge break in tradition that fans won't soon forget. Over the years, Colbert proved to be good at breaking down complex political events with a lot of humor and energy. His past election specials, which aired on Showtime among other platforms, mixed satire with live political commentary in ways that engaged fans and often let them release pent-up feelings over election results. This time, though, the usually fearless Colbert pulled back, leaving a void that has viewers wondering whether this might signal a more significant adjustment in how late night covers politics. The fans have been speculating endlessly, pointing at everything from the host's possible need for creative rejuvenation to potential contractual disagreements within the network. Some even suspect that Colbert is keeping an eye on the current, unpredictable political landscape and realizing that election night results might not come immediately, therefore leading to an anticlimactic live show. Others have noted that the late-night shows almost always feel the effects of changing viewer habits, where fewer people tune in live and instead catch the highlights the next day on social media. Is Colbert's decision part of an evolving strategy for late-night relevancy? The stakes in this election cycle are exponentially high, with political tensions flaring and an already polarized audience watching. And with that, The Daily Show seems ready to take center stage on election night. With Jon Stewart back at the desk, The Daily Show has planned for the no-results scenario many are anticipating, so viewers won't be left hanging in case of an uncertain end to the night. Whatever his reason, Colbert's absence has reshaped the landscape of election coverage. It is in many ways a bold statement about the state of late-night television, one in admission to its changing role and the challenges of remaining relevant at a time when news is increasingly consumed through a screen tap or swipe, an argument that can be made that this may signal a new chapter for Colbert, one in which he hones his satire beyond live political events. It's a tantalizing question that leaves his fans, for now, eagerly awaiting his next move. This script incorporates open-loop elements that keep the reader wondering about Colbert's motivation, using recent context and insight into how the dynamics of late-night TV coverage have shifted. The secret behind Colbert's unforgettable interviews that keep America talking. Candid insights collide with humor in Stephen Colbert's interviews, making for some water-cooler moments from late-night television. There is almost an art to the way in which Colbert draws candor out of his guests, skillfully mixing humor into the insightful questions that tend to show even the most reserved figures in a totally new light. Just last week, Colbert sat down to a beer with Vice President Kamala Harris in a segment that was as far beyond politics, it felt like he was just hanging out with an old buddy. Them clinking Miller High Lifes on stage. This was more than an interview. This was one of those very rare, indelible moments into the personality of a powerhouse leader that will have viewers talking long after the broadcast has ended. With every new interview, it would appear that Colbert pushes the envelope just a little further. His platform advances to a place where anything can happen. From interviews with former President Barack Obama, his sessions have been more on the line of a friendly conversation, respect and wit intermingling with ease. The audience is left wondering, what's next? That is, of course, the classic open-loop technique that keeps viewers in place. He has lately been doing a number of episodes, from guests across the political and entertainment divides to cultural spheres, including dialogues with icons like Tom Hanks and Lenny Kravitz. Each interview gives a perfect blend of humor and depth, with the walls knocked down, but in such a way only Colbert can do. A lot of the more viral moments that involve Colbert have to do with his astounding abilities to take even the most stilted public personas and lighten them up. This year alone, he took on some rather dicey subjects with the poise of a tightrope acrobat, his humor turning what was going to be tension into memorable exchange. For instance, his interview with Governor Tim Walz outlined not only the current political climate, but personal challenges Walz has faced, and thus left viewers to reflect on more meaningful issues than what has been told. It's a Colbert gift to have his guests take the lead, but to subtly turn things around to make it both enlightening and seriously entertaining. This would create an atmosphere of transparency, in which Colbert would foster that craving for the audience in search of the next great moment. It's this mystery of what is going to happen next, or which characteristic of a public figure is going to be exposed to the perfect open loop for engaging audiences wanting authenticity in a media landscape that's often too polished. Live shows, but with a twist. When it comes to late-night television, Stephen Colbert doesn't stay confined to his studio. He takes The Late Show on the road, adding a dynamic twist that resonates with fans nationwide. Recently, Colbert made headlines with his live broadcast from Chicago, marking the Democratic National Convention with an unforgettable show. Taking his witty commentary and insightful satire out of the traditional studio space allowed him to connect directly with the public in new ways. It's not just a location shift, it's an experience that brings the energy of live audiences into each broadcast. Traveling shows breathe new life into Colbert's performance style, showing that he's not afraid to venture into new territory, both literally and figuratively. By mixing in local flavor and on-the-spot reactions, Colbert creates unique segments that wouldn't be possible in a controlled studio setting. His recent road trip included clever jokes, on-the-ground interviews, and spontaneous reactions, with Chicago providing the perfect backdrop for his politically charged humor. As fans tuned in, they couldn't help but wonder what city Colbert might pop up in next, an open loop that invites speculation and keeps audiences eagerly anticipating each new destination. Taking The Late Show on the road also allows Colbert to tap into current events with fresh perspective. Whether it's a cultural festival, a political event, or a major convention, he molds each show to fit the environment, tailoring his humor and topics to engage the local audience while entertaining viewers at home. This ability to blend national relevance with local engagement has made these live broadcasts a highlight for fans. When Colbert hit the streets of Chicago, the buzz around the city was palpable, and his segments offered an inside look at the convention that had fans talking long after the credits rolled. By continuously switching up the format, Colbert ensures that no two episodes feel the same. His travels serve as a kind of open invitation, sparking curiosity among viewers who can't wait to see where he'll take them next. Whether he's delivering political satire from a convention floor or engaging in impromptu interactions with fans, Colbert proves that the late-night show doesn't have to stay put to make a lasting impact. How Colbert's humor exposes the truth in a divided world and why you can't miss it. Stephen Colbert has risen to become one of late-night television's most unique voices, blending humor and political critique. But his comedy isn't just for entertainment. It's a perfectly pulled lever of satire and commentary that reflects America's current political divides. Quick-witted and unapologetic, Colbert doesn't shy away from skewering the most controversial of figures. It is this fearlessness that has become one of the defining marks of his career. When not so long ago he found himself on the enemies list of former President Trump, Colbert took it as a badge of honor. At one point, humorously fist-pumping, "Finally, I made an enemies list." That toast to what some might perceive as a liability underlines Colbert's genius for turning political adversity into laugh lines, and giving relief to the viewers who are treading similar tightropes. In recent shows, Colbert has been pushing the envelope with humor that makes viewers take a closer look at both sides of the political divide. Take, for example, his reaction to Trump's reported desire to target late-night hosts for illegal campaign contributions in the form of jokes. Colbert leaned into the absurdity, quipping, "Obviously, there's no guarantee I'll be arrested, but it's an honor just to be nominated." The joke was funny, but what lay beneath was a vision for satire as a means to point out political absurdity, not alienation. Humor by Colbert is provocative yet relatable. It creates this very unique platform where fans feel heard amidst all the noise that partisan politics create. In an increasingly divided world, Colbert's satire has become a meeting point where audiences reflect on and laugh at political complexities. He challenges public figures on his platform, but does so in a way that makes every story human. The same finding of voice seems to echo in his incisive monologues about current issues, without leaving his audience without drawing their own conclusion. Outright controversial topics, Colbert does not balk at. He gives his viewers the chance to appreciate humor as a means to an end, rather than an end in itself. It's this art of balancing satire and substance that keeps his audience glued to their screens. But perhaps the most engaging part of Colbert's satire is how he tackles social issues. Recently, his monologue about the January 6th hearings was the perfect example of such, where he dissects those events with humor that also resonated emotionally. He asked viewers to be amused but also consider the gravity of the event, a lesson that comedy can help people reflect just as much as it entertains. Such moments are examples of how Colbert treads through such polarizing topics without losing his audience, something only a few late-night hosts have learned to date. The more issues this country faces, the more its citizens look to Colbert for comic relief and something with which they can identify. To be able to laugh about it all makes it bearable and a method of working through political happenings from another perspective. His charm is within this. While he brings out very sharp political insight, he doesn't overwhelm by that, hence making him unique in late-night television. While some just stick to humor and others to critique, Colbert's penchant for turning satire into an art has earned him a dedicated following that spans the political spectrum. How Colbert stays on top amid fierce rivalries. In the competitive world of late-night television, where ratings and audience engagement are king, Stephen Colbert has solidified his status not just as a survivor but as a leader. The late-night landscape is crowded with big names, but Colbert's success isn't coincidental. It's the result of a carefully crafted approach that combines sharp satire, adaptability, and relevance. As the television industry faces shifts in viewership due to streaming and digital platforms, Colbert has demonstrated an uncanny ability to keep his audience engaged and loyal. His brand of humor is versatile, making him relatable to audiences who seek both comedy and commentary in an ever-changing media landscape. One key to Colbert's success is his consistent flexibility in content. Colbert covers both lighthearted topics and heavy-hitting political issues, which allows him to resonate with a broad audience. His recent segments on political dynamics and social justice issues offer audiences timely and relevant insights, as seen in his playful yet pointed quips about Trump's reported desire to punish late-night hosts. Colbert didn't miss a beat. He leaned into the moment with the confidence and wit that has defined his career. This approach creates a space where viewers feel part of a shared experience, bonding over humor that also makes them think. A significant part of Colbert's strategy is his commitment to bringing authenticity to his shows. His interactions with guests are candid and often laced with humor that brings out a side of his interviewees that other hosts might not capture. These interviews, like his memorable exchange with Barack Obama, allow Colbert to delve into serious discussions while keeping a humorous undertone, engaging audiences who appreciate both depth and comedy. His natural rapport with guests and his knack for drawing out meaningful conversations have solidified his reputation in a highly competitive field, setting him apart as a skilled interviewer and commentator. Ratings-wise, Colbert has also excelled in a way that many late-night hosts aspire to but rarely achieve. By consistently topping the viewership charts, he has not only maintained a loyal audience but attracted new viewers who are drawn to his unique blend of humor and insight. His rating success isn't just a result of his political critiques, it's a reflection of his ability to stay relevant. Colbert's ability to adapt to the times while retaining his core comedic style has allowed him to remain at the forefront, even as other hosts struggle to keep pace. In the end, Colbert's success in the competitive late-night world boils down to his capacity to innovate without losing sight of what makes his show engaging. By addressing current events with a mix of wit and wisdom, he offers something for everyone: a laugh, a critique, and sometimes even a moment of reflection. Colbert's journey through the late-night landscape is a testament to his adaptability, proving that he's not just surviving fierce rivalries, he's thriving. And as long as he continues to evolve with his audience, it's clear that Colbert's reign as a top-tier late-night host will continue for years to come. Where does Colbert go from here? Stephen Colbert's career has spanned multiple stages, from his breakout role on The Colbert Report to becoming a household name on The Late Show. But as audiences and the entertainment landscape shift, so do the questions about what Colbert will do next. Could we be on the brink of a new era in Colbert's career, one that explores bold ventures outside of traditional late-night boundaries? This speculation has kept fans and critics alike wondering, is Colbert poised to reinvent himself yet again? As late-night TV audiences splinter with the rise of streaming and social media, Colbert has proven that he isn't afraid to explore new avenues to stay relevant. One possible future direction for Colbert could be a stronger shift toward digital platforms. Imagine a Colbert-led YouTube channel or podcast. Both mediums allow for longer, unrestricted conversations and even sharper satire. He could reach a younger demographic, one that increasingly looks to TikTok and YouTube for content rather than cable TV. Digital platforms offer Colbert the chance to be uncensored, freeing him from network constraints to dive deeper into the topics he's passionate about. Imagine Colbert going live on YouTube with a spontaneous segment, drawing millions of views without the limitations of traditional broadcasting. Additionally, the idea of Colbert expanding The Late Show to reach global audiences is an intriguing possibility. By partnering with a streaming service like Netflix or Prime Video, he could create a new version of The Late Show tailored for international viewers. Picture Colbert's humor infused into interviews with global leaders, actors, and cultural figures in front of audiences worldwide. Such a move would not only broaden his reach, but also cement his legacy as one of late-night's most adaptable figures. Internationally, the appetite for American-style satire is growing, and Colbert is uniquely positioned to tap into that market. In the realm of new genres, Colbert has teased his desire to return to acting. Known for his knack for satire and improv, Colbert might surprise fans by taking on serious dramatic roles or comedic parts in feature films. Imagine a dramatic series starring Colbert, where he flexes his acting chops in a fresh way, stepping into the spotlight as a character actor. With his experience and charisma, Colbert could bring the same authenticity he displays in his interviews to a fictional role, surprising viewers and critics alike. A slightly more unconventional but entirely possible future path for Colbert could be a pivot into political commentary outside of late-night comedy. Given his background and impact in satirical political analysis, many speculate that Colbert could eventually launch his own political commentary show or even dive into the world of news. Perhaps he would pair his wit with hard-hitting discussions, shifting from comedy to become a cultural commentator. This would allow Colbert to address issues he's passionate about without the constraints of comedy, offering viewers a more serious yet still insightful side of his personality. He's hinted in past interviews that his work is more than just entertainment. It's a platform for understanding and dissecting societal issues. Could Colbert eventually take on a more unconventional late-night show format, blending interviews, travel segments, and live performances? Just as Anthony Bourdain reinvented travel and cuisine shows with parts unknown, Colbert could transform the concept of late night into something entirely new. Picture him in a different city every week, engaging with local communities, interviewing figures outside of Hollywood, and offering his humorous take on cultural trends. Such a show would be unprecedented, but not out of character for a man who consistently redefines the boundaries of his work. As his current contract edges closer to expiration, some fans speculate that Colbert could pursue a role behind the scenes as a producer or mentor, shaping the next generation of comedians. Imagine Colbert guiding rising talents, sharing his expertise in satire, and molding new voices to carry on his comedic legacy. This kind of legacy-building move would allow Colbert to remain a force in entertainment without being on screen every night, shifting the focus from himself to the comedians he influences. Colbert has continually shown that he can thrive in the ever-changing entertainment industry, thanks to his resilience, adaptability, and curiosity. Whether he launches a streaming show, returns to acting, or pivots to political commentary, Colbert's path forward is likely to be as unexpected as it is influential. Fans and industry insiders alike are eagerly watching, certain of one thing: Colbert's next move will be as captivating as his career thus far. With the world watching his every move, Stephen Colbert isn't just a late-night host. He's an unstoppable force in modern entertainment. Every twist in his career adds to the intrigue, leaving audiences wondering what's next. Will he redefine late night, jump into digital media, or perhaps surprise us all with a brand new venture? Whatever the future holds, Colbert is bound to leave his mark, and we can't wait to see where he goes next.